All right there, Brian. I got your version 2 Stryker 955 all completed for you. We didn't do anything extravagant or major with this radio. We just did a full tune-out. We did upgraded finals, and then I did an upgraded regulator. Just used a Palomar Max Mod, ERF 2030 pluses, and got it all tuned out. Now, for the guys that think they're going to stick a Palomar Max Mod and 2 ERF 2030s in here and expect to see anything over, 90 or 100 watts best case scenario, you're not going to see the numbers I have without doing the stuff that's required to get up there. You can't just poke finals and a regulator in there and expect the watts to magically come up. So the finals give you more potential, and better components give you more potential for more output. They don't give you more output without doing anything. But anyway, the finals are in, the regulator's in, the full tune-out is done, and it is all ready. So we'll show the output, we'll see what it does, and kind of go on from there. My voltage is at like 14.67. I've got it set to show 14.7 to make sure that it was as accurate as it could be for you. On the face, we went through all the alignments and adjustments, and everything is complete. We will go ahead and see what we have on this version 2 Stryker 955. We got around a 20 watt carrier. We'll modulate it, and we're modulated to about 140 peak, which is very impressive. On the best case scenario, generally with the version 1s, I'll get around 130, maybe 135 on rare instances with these ERF 2030 transistors. So the version 2 actually is capable of more output than the version 1. When it comes, more stingy than the version 1. So if you did a simple tune up to both, version 2 is going to do less watts than version 1. But if you know how to manipulate inductance and capacitance and redo the circuitry inside the radio, it has potential to get there. So this is an example of that. Again, we're at about 140 watts output, looks like. We'll check our bird average, and a matter of fact, I actually had this doing about 145, but I just wasn't comfortable with the heat level for an extra 5 watts PP. It wasn't worth the extra heat that's produced. So I think this is a good stopping place, and it's a lot to ask out of a couple transistors, but I feel confident that there will never be a failure or a break here. Just like with my version 1s, I've never had a failure or a break come back from a transistor. So anyway, on the ERFs or the IRF 520s, either one. So 100 watt slug, bird slug, reading the bottom scale here. We'll modulate it. Looks like we're modulated to about 68 bird, which is some good numbers there. We'll look at our peak on the 250 watt slug as an example here. We are showing about 155 peak up there. We'll look at our LP100A, and we have 166 peak right there on the LP100A, 164, something like that. Yeah. So 164. We'll look at our spectral purity. Version 2 is not quite as clean as version 1, so there will be a little bit of harmonics, but nothing to jump up and down about. But we do have a small spike here and another small spike here. They come straight from the factory with, straight out of the box. You can improve them with the bandpass filter and the right equipment and tuning, which it is improved here than what they would come originally, but it is not. But so we can actually show though. My reference level right now at the moment is at 0. I can modulate that. That signal is off scale, so I could move it to where it kind of moves back on the scale. We'll say we'll put it at 10 on the reference down here. We'll look at the top end of the scale, and looks like we hit just about to the tip there, roughly. But either way, we'll just go and check from 0, and for a fact we know that is off scale completely. Now let's move it down. Let's see. Let's maybe go to 5. Try that. Nope, still off scale. Whoops. Let me go to say 8. Yeah, about tip of scale right there. All right, so now we'll add what we have here. So we got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, call it about 55 dB below the fundamental frequency. So anybody that knows math and dBs, dB is logarithmic, 10 dBs 10 times power, 20 dBs 100 times, 30 dB is 1,000 times, 40 dB is 10,000 times, and 50 dB is 100,000 times. So we're between 100,000 and 1,000,000 times less power at 55 dB. So any quack that tells you it's a crazy problem harmonic piece of garbage because there's two tiny little spikes there in the end result is an idiot. So I just want to put that into numbers. Anywhere between 100,000 and 1,000,000 times of less power than what is on the fundamental frequency is what we have here. So it's very low, in other words. That is very acceptable amount of, THD. So anyway, that is enough on that. Anything else that I needed to give an example of? We can go over some of the options with the version 2. I haven't made a video of this yet, and I should have made one much sooner, but I had a lot of orders that I was still getting through, and I've done a lot of these, but just haven't taken the time to make a video. So what is available? I can do a upgraded regulator. I can do upgraded finals in the PA stage. I can do a full tune-out on these. I can still do variable peak. I can still do variable bird. I can still do the MP3 circuit, still do external S meter. I can do the relay combination where you key the microphone and swap to another receiver. I can do a 5-band equalizer. I can do an echo board upgrade. And contrary to what other people will tell you, that there is nothing in the audio chain that can be manipulated, that is completely wrong. There is still some values in the chain that can still be manipulated for bandwidth, for straight transmit bandwidth, so there is still a little bit to work with, but a lot of that circuitry is lasered off, so it does not have the potential to meet the lows. Has some good highs to it. My main gripe with a version 2 955 would be the noise gate that's built in. If you go through this function menu here, and we roll through the function menu, and we see what we have, we'll get over here to that's our receive frequency 4 kilohertz wide there, and then transmit frequency 4 kc wide. The 4 kc wide on the top end's fine, but the problem is they don't give you no energy to the low end, so you're probably still rolling off 150 hertz or sooner, so it's got a lot of high end but not a lot of energy in the lows, and that's where the magic happens. So that's where they've fallen short as far as the bandwidth capabilities. A lot of people say, well, it's already 4 to 5 kc wide. How wide do you need it to be? Well, I would like some energy on the lows. Like I said, there is still some manipulation that I can do and do to the audio chain to help with that, but it's not a fix. See, the gate says it's off right now. So this is a noise gate to eliminate noise, which is a fantastic option to have with a radio. The problem is when this gate is on or this gate is off, this gate is always on with the internal circuitry that's here. So even when this is in the off position, there is still a constant noise gate on this radio. My problem with that is a noise gate, it takes away from your voice being natural. It's harsh. It's like a big hard inrush of your voice coming in, and it's not like smooth transactions between your words and your syllables. And when you first speak, it's unnatural because it's constantly trying to eliminate the noise in behind you. Yes, there's benefits to that. If you got a very noisy environment, it will help you cancel out that noisy environment. But the con is it takes away from your voice being as natural. So I don't know if I'll be able to give an example of that when I do a line level recording for y'all to be able to hear. But I did want to go over these version 2s. I wanted to give my opinion. I love it for the output. The numbers are wonderful. As far as like being a full-blown hi-fi radio, is not the smartest option to put tons and tons of money into with a 5-band equalizer and all that stuff. It can still be improved. If you can't get a version 1, it is still a good candidate to build out and still can sound nice, and I can still do lots of things to it. But there will be some left to desire still in the lows, even with the extra work done. So you have to decide whether that's worth putting into or not. But this one doesn't have all that crazy stuff done. It just has a nice tune, upgraded finals, and some good output. So, all right, I'm going to hook up line level. We'll see what it sounds like, and we'll kind of go from there. So let me put my headphones in first here, and then we'll do a test, and I'll see if I can give an example of what I mean by the hard inrush from the constant gate that these radios have on them. And we'll see if that will transpire to a video or not. And I'm probably a little bit overly critical because the radio still sounds good. It's just you know, it's not as natural. All right, so anyway, we'll plug in my static 636 microphone, and then we'll plug into the line level setup, and we'll listen to it, see what it sounds like over the air. Just got a static trucker mic. They pass about the best bandwidth of any of the noise canceling microphones anyway for a decent range. All right, so we're plugging into the line level cord, and we'll see what it sounds like over the air.
All right, so there we go. Immediately, as soon as I keyed, you could kind of hear the crunch. That is the gate. You can see it's trying to make sure that there's no background. That hard inrush, that is here. That's my only issue. Start talking in the background, Chris. Let me see if I can hear you. Speak loud. Basically yell. Alright, so see, that will be a perfect example of what the gate is doing. You've already seen in the function menu, I've already cut off the gate, which should mean there's not a noise gate in line, but it is wrong. It is always in line, and that's one of my quirks about this radio. But overall, the sound's not bad. You know, it still sounds good. It's still clear. It's a nice, high, present, you know, real hard, crunching sound. It's still clear, but it does lack a little bit of the low end, and it's a little bit unnatural because of the gate itself. But anyway, hopefully that'll be a good enough example so everybody can hear what the version 2 sounds like after being tuned and gone through. Now, of course, more things can be done, the EQ and other things too, but not overall, not a bad radio. Got some good things and also some things for improvement too. Audio. Still hitting about 60 bird with my voice there. Just wanted to give an example. Hello, 1, 2. Audio, 1, 2. 160 or so there. Check, check. Breaker, breaker. Hello, 1, 2. Audio. All right, would it be good enough?
All right, sorry to ramble a little bit, but I did want to give enough of a video and enough information so people can make an educated decision on what they want or what they may like to order from me or not. So any of the guys that's been looking for something like really heavy and full, like you see on my videos, the version 1 has more potential to get to those levels of depth and fullness and dynamic range. This is still good. It's not a bad choice, and it's something that will improve over time, but it will require some work digitally to be really taken to its full potential. But anyway, appreciate y'all watching. Version 2 Stryker 955, done up with upgraded finals, upgraded regulator, and a nice tune out. Y'all take care, and appreciate y'all watching.